The funniest Oscar moments of all time. Don't we just love an awards ceremony? We get to see all of Hollywood's finest dressed up to the nines in their borrowed dresses and jewels, while also finding out which of the year's movies gets the most recognition. Over the years, we've seen good hosts and bad hosts, great jokes and ones that have fallen flatter than Kim Kardashian's butt pre-surgery. It's not long until the coveted awards show rolls around once more, so what better time to reminisce? Join us as we take a look at the funniest Oscar moments of all time. Before we begin, make sure to subscribe to our channel for more amazing videos about your favorite movies and TV shows. Jennifer Lawrence's fall.
What do you mean what happened? Look at my dress. I tried to walk upstairs in this dress. That's what happened.
We can't possibly create this video without paying homage to this incredible moment from 2013 that went down in TV history. Jennifer Lawrence was incredibly lucky to be nominated for an award. Then just 23 years old, J-Law probably didn't think she had a chance in hell of winning an Oscar so early in her career, especially as she was up against the likes of experienced actresses Naomi Watts and Jessica Chastain. She was so shocked that she was announced as the winner that she could barely contain herself or control her feet. Her stunning white gown made her look every inch the Hollywood princess, but it also made getting up to the stage incredibly difficult. In a now iconic moment, Jen took a tumble on her way up the stairs, and we've all been laughing about it ever since. Even Jennifer took it like a pro and admitted herself how painfully clumsy it was. The star-studded selfie.
Brad, get in here. I'll take it. No, I'm doing it.
The majority of pictures we get from these events are red carpet deals taken by professional photographers at the start of the night. Stars often take pictures of their looks at home and post them to their social media accounts before leaving for the event, but as for taking pictures at the actual ceremony, it doesn't really happen that frequently. That's why Ellen whipped her phone out in 2014 and decided to take a selfie with the creme de la creme of Hollywood's royalty. The world was shook. Angelina Jolie, Brad Pitt, Bradley Cooper, Julia Roberts, Meryl Streep, to name but a few, managed to squeeze into the shot that soon became one of the most well-liked pictures to ever appear on social media. Before Kim Kardashian broke the internet, Ellen DeGeneres was the pioneer. It's still an incredible picture to look at, and one that became so iconic, it's frequently referenced all these years later. The Streaker.
In the motion picture industry, we do not, thank God, contribute to the shambles by manufacturing tanks, flamethrowers, or rockets.
Security is so tight at events like this these days that you wouldn't be able to sneak in a bottle of booze without security booting you out. But back in the 70s, things were much more lax. And thank goodness. Without the good old days of yore, we wouldn't have been gifted with one of the greatest television moments of all time. In 1974, actor David Niven was on stage waiting for Elizabeth Taylor, aka Cleopatra, aka Ultimate Movie Queen, to come on stage to announce the winner of Best Picture. Liz was making her way up the steps when all of a sudden a butt-naked man named Robert Opel blazed across the stage in all of his glory, throwing a peace sign as he went. It soon transpires that Opel, a gallery owner, managed to sneak backstage by posing as a journalist. David Niven appeared to brush off the incident by saying, "Well, ladies and gentlemen, that was almost bound to happen." But isn't it fascinating to think that probably the only laugh that man will ever get in his life is by stripping off and showing his shortcomings? Sources later suggested that the entire event was staged by the show's producers, but either way, it was brilliant. Anna Paquin's win.
To thank the Academy for the honour of letting me be here today.
Anna Paquin is best known for her role in True Blood as vampire-loving Sookie Stackhouse. But back in 1994, a teeny-tiny 11-year-old Anna had just finished starring in The Piano. She never imagined to be nominated given her age, but she beat out the competition to scoop up the award, becoming the second youngest actress to ever win. The adorable tot looked completely awestruck, and while what followed was certainly sweet, it was also hilarious. Paquin made her way up to the stage to accept the awards presented to her by Gene Hackman and just stared in awe at the audience. You could have picked her jaw up from the floor. Luckily, she managed to find her voice after a little while to utter some thank yous, but it was touch and go for a moment there. Ben Stiller's Avatar makeup.
Please welcome Ben Stiller.
Ben Stiller is a pretty funny guy. He's been in some top comedy movies and is good at what he does, so it only seems right that he dressed up in full Avatar makeup when he presented the Best Makeup Award in 2010. With a completely blue face, prosthetic ears, yellow contacts, and a wig Zoe Saldana herself would be proud of, Stiller stole the show. Avatar wasn't even nominated for that category because it was all CGI, but you couldn't blame Stiller for willingly making a fool of himself all in the name of good television. Star Trek scoops the award that year, but the real winner in our eyes was Ben Stiller's 4-foot-long blue tail that looked incredibly uncomfortable to wear. Good on you, Ben. The pizza delivery.
You want the whole box? Really?
Well, no, not
All right,
the whole box.
all right.
When someone like Ellen DeGeneres hosts, you know there's gonna be a few gags. While some didn't like her comic delivery and thought that the Academy could have done better, there was one delivery that was universally well-liked, especially amongst the audience. DeGeneres arranged for takeout pizza to arrive just when the A-listers were looking peckish. Many celebs have criticized the food at award shows, with Jennifer Lawrence once saying that she was always starving at the Oscars. Brad Pitt even helped doll out the slices on paper plates, which was quite a sight to behold considering he's wearing a suit that's more expensive than our monthly wages. A few designer dresses may have seen their fair share of pizza grease that night, but who cares? What's a little bit of tomato sauce? Greer Garson's speech.
Joan Fontaine presents the award for Best Performance by any actress in 1942 to lovely Greer Garson, Mrs. Miniver.
Back in 1943, the Oscars were still a pretty new thing, so there weren't really any hard and fast rules when it came to winning speeches. In fact, most winners said only a word or two or said nothing entirely. When Greer Garson won the Best Actress gong for Mrs. Miniver, she began quite humbly, thanking the crowd for their applause. Then, despite all expectations, the brunette's beauty launched into a speech that would become the longest in Oscar history. It was 1 o'clock in the morning. All of Hollywood's elites wanted to go home, and there was Greer Garson harping on about everyone she wanted to thank from LA to Calcutta. Was it funny at the time? Probably not. Now, absolutely. We've got Garson to thank for the 45-second speech rule that most people adhere to these days, but we love the idea of stars staring at the clock while one of their colleagues rambles on. They're already rich and famous, but that doesn't mean they shouldn't be as bored at work functions as we are. Adrien Brody's kiss. In 2003, Adrien Brody scooped the awards up for Best Actor for his role in The Pianist. The actor was so excited when his name was announced that he looked around him in disbelief, where the likes of Jack Nicholson and Michael Caine were applauding him with beaming smiles. Clearly unable to contain himself, he ran up to the presenter of the accolade, Halle Berry, dipped her back, and kissed her unexpectedly before coming up for air and saying, "I bet they didn't tell you that was in the gift bag." Berry, for her part, took the entire unsolicited kiss in her stride, but can you imagine something like that happening these days? Brody didn't receive any backlash for it at the time, but the moment has since been referenced as a form of sexual assault. Awkward! James Franco's Marilyn Monroe. Anne Hathaway and James Franco hosted the awards in 2011, and it went down like a lead balloon. The pair had little chemistry, and the delivery of their lines was off and awkward, so it's hardly surprising that they were never invited back. However, there were a few moments that were belly laugh funny. Case in point, when the pair came out on stage wearing a pink satin strapless number, diamond necklace, and blonde wig. Producers thought it would offer some light relief, and it certainly did, although he didn't look half as good in a dress as Anne looked in a suit, we have to say. Franco would later admit that he felt trapped in the dress and planned on deliberately falling over so that it fell off. But alas, he didn't do it IRL. Hathaway certainly found his feminine side side-splittingly funny, as did the audience. The rest of the show blew the big one, though. According to producers, James didn't spend enough time rehearsing the material to make it work. That's the least of his worries these days, though. Daniel Day-Lewis's knighting. When it comes to doling out an Oscar, there are fewer actresses worthier of presenting than Dame Helen Mirren. The British actress is an institution, so when she announced the nominees for the Best Actor award, the likes of George Clooney, Daniel Day-Lewis, Johnny Depp, Tommy Lee Jones, and Viggo Mortensen were chopping at the bit to get up there on stage. It was Lewis that scoops the victory, though, and bounded up to the stage before kneeling in front of Mirren. The actress halted for a moment, unsure of what to do, before swiftly knighting him with the Oscar. No one was quite sure what was going on at first, and when Sir Daniel Day-Lewis arose, he almost got bashed on the head with the gold object. The second-time winner gave a pretty wordy speech that made little sense to the likes of us, but at least he didn't go on for 5 minutes like a certain actress we've already mentioned. Thank you very much for watching today's video. Make sure to subscribe to our channel for more amazing content, and don't forget to check out one of the other 2 videos on your screen.